Hey everyone, this is Anirudh Sadi. I currently work in the hardware industry and I'm doing my master's in CS to move into the software field. So I work for a company called Steris Corporation where we do audio and video integration in the operating rooms of hospitals. Our systems are also capable of accessing healthcare data over Epic and Cerner servers. We use that for audio and video storage purposes for patient records. And this course being one of the last ones for me to graduate, which also has ties back to the industry I currently work in, is why I've been doing this one. And this course predominantly has a huge correlation with FHIR, which is a data standard containing elements known as resources and an API to share electronic health records, which is also an alternative to the document centric data elements which have been existing in the current practices. So I'm going to quickly have a small walkthrough about what FHIR does. As you can see, this is the GT read-only FHIR server uh, where we have access to it. Some of the resources which you can see here as they're listed: condition, device, encounters, medication. These are different sets of resources which you can access the data on a particular patient. So let's start with looking up for a patient to begin with. So when you go to the patient resource, you see you have different search parameters. One is the resource identity. You can use the patient's date of birth, family portion, family name, gender, give a name, part of the name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for Dixon, which could, it's either a family or a given name. So when you search for Dixon, you can see that you have a bunch of patients with a Dixon family name. We're particularly looking for Marla Dixon. If you scroll down, you will be able to find. So the raw data shows you more information. Uh, and here, when you look at this Marla Dixon, you find that person. You can also see that the patient ID is 523050. And now that we know what our patient is, and you can also tell where the patient lives, the address, all the information for a particular patient is found here. So now that we have a patient name, a patient ID, let us look at what an encounter is. Encounter is pretty much almost every instant a record has been created for that patient. Now you could use a resource identity, or a patient, or a date within the period of the last encounter. So let's go with the patient for now. And for the patient, you could use the resource ID, which is the patient ID. You can use the patient's date of birth. Again, it's just as good as finding a patient here. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and do the resource ID. 523050 was Marla's resource ID, and waiting for this. So now that you see, you have three encounters for Marla Dixon, and if you look at the raw files, you will have more information as to the what the encounter is exactly. It says the participant, the practitioner's name is given here, uh, and for each encounter, you can also read about that particular encounter to know a little more details, if it was completed or not. And the other thing which I'm going to show you is a medication order. I mean, this is every time someone has been prescribed some medication, you can look it up using the resource ID, which is probably the medication order number. So we're looking to see what Marla has been medicated so far. So we're going to try and search for her again using the resource identity of the patient. And you can see she's got three medication orders too. And this also shows what the medication was and the quantity for each medication, which is the dosage instruction, And you'll also find data such as the code for the medicine itself. It also shows the practitioner who has issued it. It also gives you the date and time written for that particular patient. So this is what FHIR does. It has all data encapsulated in a single server, and it also allows, going forward, the CMS, they've been trying to increase patients to have access to their own data, and specifically API based access. And FHIR has been one of the uh, it's been one of the most predominant idea and approach going forward, and they believe that it's going to play a critical role in interoperability, healthcare, IT architecture. And FHIR, like I said, has been used for creating a universal healthcare app platform to help some of the existing limitations of the current EHR systems. And it can also be used to develop APIs to enable greatly expanded healthcare information sharing. Uh, I have referred to most of our lecture content for all the information I've shared with you, and also the resources, the GT's FHIR server access. Thank you.